just to make it official, let me get your name and title on the recording.
I'm Humberto Hernández Haddad, Consul General of Mexico in Austin.
Okay. And just tell us, first of all, just a little bit about the office here in Austin, and what Consul General does here.
Well, as an international standard, Consul Generals are devoted to promote trade, commerce, investments, tourism, and to take care of the communities of connationals, in this case the Mexican community, which is of considerable size in Central Texas. Mm-hmm. We cover 23 counties under the circumscription of Central Texas for the activities of this Mexican Consulate General.
Have you been busier lately?
Actually, I try to be busy every single day. Yes. And in these times, it doesn't take too much effort to be busy. We are living truly busy times. Okay. And with all the information technologies, the flow of information from everywhere, it makes that days pass rapidly. So I spend my time here considering the amount of information flowing in Texas in a very productive way, in direct contact with universities, chambers of commerce, and the Mexican community.
And we came because of what has been happening recently it's happening across the country, it's happening here in Austin. And we wanted to know about the services that your office is providing for people that are concerned about the mass deportations that have started here.
Well, in matters of deportation, we started since day one, starting the new federal administration, to have the federal figures on everyday basis. And by knowing every day what is the real nature of those detentions and probably deportations for removable subjects, we have the following figures. And I'm here to speak only about local matters in my capacity as Consul General of Mexico in Austin. On Sunday, the 26th January, the number of detainees were 12 people. On Monday, the 27th, 5. On Tuesday, the 28th January, 9. On Wednesday, Wednesday, the 29th, 6. As of today, we are awaiting the report. We will have it over the next hours. And it makes a total of the 4 days I mentioned, a total of 32 detained. There were 11 consular interviews, and the total amount of deportations, 10 Mexican nationals were deported. Those are the figures we are working with, coming from institutional sources of the U.S. government.
Now, yesterday we saw people being brought out of the J.J. Pickle Center downtown and being put on buses, and we spoke with a family member who pointed out that her mother was among those taken. Well, what kind of services can you offer the people who are reaching out to your office for help?
The consular interview determines what the Mexican national wants, what they require, through the consular interview. A member of the protection department of this consulate talks with the Mexican nationals that request anything, a consular assistance, and that is provided under the terms of the Vienna Convention for Consular Relations, where the U.S. government and the Mexican government have been part for over many years.
Were you aware that the Pickle building was being used as a detention center?
I don't know who provided that information. I have no idea who is the source of that information. But what we have is figures, statistics.
Are you getting more inquiries from Mexicans here in the Austin area about perhaps feeling unwelcome here and maybe wanting to go home?
Well, that is a case-by-case situation, and the consular interview is put in a specific file for each national being in that case.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on how this is impacting the community and their feeling of being safe here in Austin?
Well, we are monitoring, and at this moment, we have not received at the consulate, and let me emphasize that, we have not received until this moment, we are talking on Thursday, the 3rd of January at 11 in the morning, no specific case of reclamation for human rights abuses to any specific individual.
Let me tell you a little bit about myself real quick, because this is kind of personal for me because I grew up on the border. I'm from Brownsville, which is kind of interesting that you were hosting people from Brownsville today. And my wife of nearly 50 years is from Matamoros. And this is the kind of environment that we grew up in, that we were one family, one group. We were each other's co-workers, we're each other's friends, we're each other's families. And it hurts me to see us divided like this. And I was wondering if you have any thoughts on seeing us becoming more divided now than we were before.
I'm glad that you have that direct experience of being an American citizen with knowledge of how really is the U.S.-Mexican border, because a few minutes ago, we have concluded a meeting between the Texas Association of Mexican-American Chambers of Commerce and the Brownsville Chambers of Commerce. Business leaders, representatives were attending this morning, and I just delivered one figure in my welcoming speech.
I heard it. Mm-hmm.
$2 billion every 24 hours is the trading relationship that the U.S. and Mexico have to take care. And I say they have to take care because it's not time to reverse it. It is time to grow up. Our two nations demand better opportunities, more jobs, more investment, more productivity, more capacity to export to the world. And if the U.S. and Mexico have already a $2 billion daily trading relationship, I wonder why to stop it, why to spoil it. It's time to increase it and to make things better. And whatever it can be done better, the Mexican government is ready to work to coordinate better public policies.
Now, watching some of the news from Mexico, I saw the people showing that there was now an app to help people notify you, I guess, notify the closest consulate. Are you getting any responses through that app service here?
Until this moment, we haven't. We haven't, but we are monitoring daily the reports from the U.S. agencies, and that is why I delivered to you these figures. Up until yesterday, we had an amount of 32 Mexican nationals detained. 11 of them accepted consular interviews, and only 10 were deported. The point of deportation was Laredo, Nuevo Laredo.
Is that where the deportees from this area will be transferred through?
They are transferred to the cities they are requesting to be transferred.
Do you know if, I know the U.S. is doing mass deportations. Can you tell us if someone has coordinated who is receiving them?
Oh, yes, the Mexican authorities have a strategy of attendance through the three levels of government. Federal authorities, in coordination with state governments and municipal authorities, are handling all services, and upon arrival, deported people is receiving a card with funds to allow them to make possible to spend the first resources from the so-called tarjeta Bienestar Paisano. That's the name, Tarjeta Bienestar Paisano. It's a credit card with starting with $100 to receive the deported Mexicans.
And then the ones deported from Austin, are they being deported directly back to their homes or just across the border?
No, I understand that the deportation is being delivered, the national, at Laredo, Nuevo Laredo. And from there, Mexican authorities are handling the logistics of how to make the transportation to whatever the geography of the country they need to be transported.
Okay.
The Mexican working force in the agricultural sector of the United States is 16%. In the construction sector is 14.5%. You can conclude that the impact in prices, the inflationary pressures affecting the working force is directly related. There is no way to avoid one effect if you touch the other. I'm sure that the role of the Mexican working force in the US will be increasingly appreciated. And in these times of tests, in my experience and my modest opinion, the US-Mexico relationship will emerge stronger than ever.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.